I've held this story close, but the emotional toll it's taking on me demands I finally share it. My partner, 23, and I, 25, share a deep, unwavering passion for Taylor Swift. We aren't just fans. We are Swifties, devoted disciples of her artistry. Every vinyl disc graces our shelves, almost every iconic cardigan adorns our wardrobe. Her voice fills nearly all our playlists. Truly, she possesses a melody for every mood. I even experienced the magic of her eras tour firsthand, a memory I cherish dearly. Then, a shadow fell. My partner's brother, 22, encountered unforeseen hardships. 6 months prior, my partner and I had moved 12 hours away, seeking a new beginning in a cozy, albeit small, two-bedroom home we now rent. Roughly 4 months ago, his mother, a truly difficult individual whose turbulent past merits its own painful chapter, ejected him from their family home. With nowhere else to turn, he sought refuge with his own partner. Yet, that fragile arrangement quickly disintegrated, leaving him adrift and without stable shelter. This development sent ripples through our lives, hinting at an inevitable shift. The situation was escalating, pulling us further into a family drama we hadn't anticipated. It simply wasn't destined to last, but things simply didn't unfold as he'd originally planned. He'd relocated to a deeply rural, isolated area, far from any familiar family, and after almost 2 deeply frustrating months, he still hadn't secured any stable job. He missed car payments, lost his vehicle, then faced eviction from his residence. It was a truly profound series of devastating setbacks. Having been friends for years, we offered our spare room, a safe haven, hoping to genuinely help him stabilize. He's now been with us for about 3 weeks, has found decent employment, and has proven helpful around the house. For a brief, almost deceptive time, a fragile sense of peace settled. When he moved in, we knew his absolute, complete lack of funds would deeply tax our resources, requiring a huge adjustment for us. We anticipated some hurdles, yes, but certainly not truly major issues. Now, however, everything is now rapidly, dangerously coming to a destructive head. With Taylor Swift's new album out, his virulent, almost obsessive hatred for her has intensely amplified. We can no longer listen to her music in the car, watch any interviews or social media clips featuring her in the living room, play any of our cherished vinyls, or even whisper about her to each other without him completely, violently blowing up. I genuinely understand that she's certainly not universally adored, and I respect that. I have close friends and even family who aren't particularly fond of her music, but this intense behavior goes far beyond simple dislike. My feelings for Taylor Swift are neutral. Her presence doesn't bother me. Yet, my brother-in-law harbors an unreasonable hatred for someone he's never met. I often feel I'm not allowed to exist in my own home without inciting an argument. On rare occasions, when I play a handful of her songs, he ensures it's a miserable experience. Doors slam violently, stomps echo, and harsh comments fill the air. He's even interrupted my partner's work. He works from home to unleash rants and bombard him with fake news articles about her. Most recently, tonight, my partner and I were cuddled on the couch, eating dinner, watching TikToks I'd sent him. Just 3 contained her songs. Suddenly, his brother appeared to grab food we often eat separately. He lingered 5 minutes. Then, hearing 2 TikToks with her music, his rage erupted. He huffed, stomped deliberately, muttered comments I couldn't catch but sensed were venomous. He threw his dinner in the trash. He hurled his utensils into the sink, the crash so loud it made me jump. He stormed away, leaving chilling silence and our shattered peace. I didn't immediately grasp his fury, but the message was clear. My comfort is secondary. This torment continues the resentment from upstairs was a silent, oppressive weight. My patience, a dwindling resource, thinned daily. We'd tried breaching his stubborn resistance, articulating a simple truth. He needn't like her music, but must respect our enjoyment. He must learn to tolerate its presence within our home. We weren't asking for wild listening parties, nothing audacious or insane. We'd practiced an unbearable caution. Undeniably, uncomfortably mindful, we avoided her music or any mention of her name when near. Living on eggshells, a self-imposed prison, just to appease his unreasonable disdain. Was it truly so outrageous, so unreasonable to wish for a peaceful evening? To uncork wine, select an album, let music drift once a week? A small solace after a brutal, relentless week. This is our asterisk house, where he resides rent-free. We bear every staggering expense, even his perpetual cannabis. I descended to desperate analogies, likening our plight to his revered artists. I pointed out with bitter irony that until that moment, he'd been blissfully ignorant of my profound dislike for their asterisk noise. Yet, I'd silently suffered. Endured his incessant music, rambling monologues, endless interview marathons, my lips sealed, objections swallowed. Why? I refused to poison his fleeting joy for mere minutes of my insignificant discomfort. Such a profound, one-sided sacrifice. The result? It, infuriatingly, obviously, tragically, changed nothing. Nothing at all. I finally found the courage to share my predicament, a situation slowly poisoning my own home. A relentless cloud of negativity has settled over my space, suffocating any joy I once found here. The constant, insidious criticism, aimed squarely at something I cherish, has chipped away at my spirit. My nerves are frayed, my patience exhausted. I feel a raw, visceral irritation whenever he is near. I simply don't want to be in the same room as him anymore, constantly on edge. This toxic atmosphere has gripped our home for merely 3 weeks, yet it feels like an eternity. I've already had a difficult conversation with my partner, explaining that his brother's unwelcome presence might need to end soon. How did we reach this precipice so quickly? I find myself utterly lost, desperate for a resolution. The audacity of it all burns within me. Here he is, living under our roof, rent-free, receiving substantial financial assistance from my partner and me, all while unleashing this torrent of disdain. This isn't merely about my music, specifically Taylor Swift. It's a profound assault on the very notion of respect within my own sanctuary. He was my best friend for 3 years, a bond I cherished, and now this. This shocking lack of gratitude, this blatant disregard for our boundless generosity, is truly unfathomable. What am I to do in the face of such immense entitlement and profound disrespect? I need urgent guidance, a path out of this deep emotional turmoil. The situation feels utterly untenable, truly unbearable. In dire times, when kindness offers refuge, one's music preferences would be the furthest thing from my mind. My sole focus would be on repaying that immense generosity, meticulously contributing to household chores, diligently searching for employment, and expressing sincere gratitude each and every day. What choice does he truly have? He must either contribute silently and respectfully to our shared home, or he can simply leave. I must admit, Taylor Swift isn't to my taste. Yet, if I were in need, granted shelter by a compassionate soul, my gratitude would be boundless. To be so disrespectful about another's cherished music is utterly reprehensible. A kind stranger remarked on the situation, expressing sympathy for my plight. I felt a surge of relief, realizing that even those who don't share my musical preferences can fully discern the sheer absurdity of this predicament. It was deeply validating. Despite my own challenges, I cannot drive due to a medical issue. My partner and I recently secured him a job. My partner, ever supportive, is even lending his car for the daily commute. For now, he works alongside me in a seasonal role, an arrangement that, while awkward since I am his boss, is a necessary interim. He is set to commence a different, more permanent position on the 20th. I cling to the hope that once this transition occurs, I've endured this for too long. He's working more, and I crave the peace to finally relax after my own grueling shifts, to lose myself in my music. But the reality is a stark contrast. My patience is utterly depleted. This situation has exhausted me to my core. Tomorrow, another conversation looms, but I doubt it will change anything. I know in my heart what I'm dealing with. He acts like a petulant child, throwing baseless tantrums over my choice of music while shamelessly enjoying my hospitality, living completely rent-free under my roof. The sheer audacity is truly staggering. I literally provide for his every need, even funding his constant weed habit, yet he can't tolerate hearing Taylor Swift for a mere 3 minutes without erupting into a furious, uncontrollable fit. This can't go on. I desperately need to establish unequivocal boundaries now, because this current arrangement is profoundly unsustainable. The validation I received from others echoes my own desperate thoughts. I know, deep down, that this truly cannot continue. As a neurodivergent individual, constantly battling the heavy weight of depression, there are so few things that genuinely bring me solace. Music, my cherished music, is one of those precious few. And now, even that vital source of joy is brutally denied to me. The frustration burns deeply now, the profound upset is soul-crushing. How, then, do I even begin to set these boundaries? The question tortures me. Is it truly unreasonable to tell him that if he cannot abide by my rules, he will simply have to leave? He won't have been trapped in a relentless, exhausting conflict. My earnest attempts at reasonable conversation proved utterly fruitless, leaving me adrift, unsure how to articulate my deep frustration. The impasse persists, a heavy silence punctuated by jarring noise. This guest, whose presence complicates everything, seems oblivious. I question how to reclaim my own sanctuary, my peace, from this ongoing imposition. Others suggest my musical preferences are flawed, or his comfort as a guest takes precedence. They question the volume. Is it background ambience or an assault on senses? If I'm blasting music, even to a guest, it ignites deep frustration, validating irritation. A constant barrage of unwanted sound frays nerves, making coexistence challenging, causing anyone to act up. The insistent chorus for a simple solution echoes, why not just use headphones? They're portrayed as a panacea, a wonderful modern invention to silence all contention. This isn't merely a clash of musical tastes, some believe, but a battle over volume, a disruption of peace. They contend if I'm imposing such noise, the guest's exasperation, his acting up, becomes understandable, even justified. Just wear cheap, damn headphones, they urge, simplifying my nuanced situation. But here's the truth. I possess headphones, and I use them often. Yet, my resistance to donning them perpetually isn't stubbornness. It's about preserving a fundamental sense of shared space, fostering communal living, and reclaiming my own comfort within my sanctuary. I desire to simply exist without constant auditory isolation. This struggle persists, an unresolved discord in my home, leaving me increasingly helpless. I yearn for true peace. I find myself constantly retreating to the solitude of the car just to play music, despite our home boasting a perfectly functioning sound system. I avoid my record player, my 15 cherished albums remaining painfully untouched. Painfully, I censor my essential conversations with my partner, silencing thoughts I yearn to share. When I do play music indoors, it is always at a perfectly reasonable volume. From the living room, its gentle sound is inaudible in either bathroom, any of the bedrooms, or downstairs. My partner and brother-in-law frequently descend, surprised I was even playing music. If it's a song they enjoy, a playful jab might come. Private jam session without us? Unfair. This confirms any disturbance is entirely avoidable. I never blast music. Living with chronic migraines, loud noises instantly trigger agonizing headaches. Yet, his volatile outbursts erupt without fail, despite my careful precautions. He explodes if he merely walks past us watching TikToks on the couch, engrossed in his world, or if we converse in the kitchen while putting away groceries and he needs to pass. His rage ignites, the injustice burns. Even if I were blasting it, some fundamental respect, some understanding of our shared space should remain. My home, once a haven, now harbors unsettling tension. Yesterday, my brother-in-law moved in, bringing discord. He despises my favorite artist, Taylor Swift, igniting conflict within my walls. It burdens my soul. His behavior is unacceptable. Doors slam, objects are tossed, my work interrupted by unprompted, bitter complaints. Such conduct is inappropriate. I've tried easing friction, cultivating peace. I gifted him quality earbuds for his quiet. I'm also transforming our garage into a dedicated hangout smoke spot, a refuge for him and my partner, hoping this soothes strain. My sanctuary, he remains a guest. My heart aches for a solution, a delicate approach to address these issues without damaging our familial bond or, worse, forcing him into homelessness. This burden is immense. Yet I cannot yield to the unreasonable demand. Constant headphones, banished vinyls, no Taylor Swift in my car when I offer rides. This feels oppressive, unfair. I'd understand if I blasted music excessively, but that's untrue. In 3 weeks, I played one vinyl, decent volume, fair warning, and 10 songs. Minimal, respectful. October 12, 2025 marks this challenging journey. I seek counsel for this domestic storm. Reclaiming peace, sanity, while preserving family, remains painfully unclear. A heavy burden weighed on my heart, a story I hesitated to share. Yet the support from my last confession stirred me, compelling me to confront our truth. Their words, kind and empowering, sliced through my self-doubt. They forced me to shed my fear, gather my courage, and face the escalating crisis head-on. Our predicament, once denied, became starkly clear. I swiftly deleted my previous confession, a quiet act of caution. I'd noticed familiar faces, real-life acquaintances, peeking into my online world, a mistake, perhaps, to have shared so openly. The fear of exposure added another layer of pressure. A tense calm settled over us. My partner and I chose our moment carefully, waiting until he seemed receptive, until the air felt less charged. Then, with a collective breath, we initiated the conversation. Every simmering frustration, every unspoken fear, was finally brought to light. We spoke of the crushing weight of his reactions, how his volatile outbursts over our simple enjoyment of music had turned our sanctuary into a hostile prison. We confessed to feeling like captives, forced to tiptoe through our own lives. The resentment had festered, growing into a painful wound, pushing us towards the brink of drastic, life-altering decisions. We were teetering on the edge, desperate for change. Our willingness to help remained, yet it came with non-negotiable boundaries. We outlined precisely how far our support could stretch, making it unequivocally clear. Respect, unwavering and absolute, was the foundation of any continued relationship. Without it, our hands were tied. Then came the non-negotiables, the new laws of our home, our asterisk domain. No more thrown objects, no slamming doors in anger. No more bitter judgments, no yucking our simple pleasures. And absolutely no yelling. Our house would be a space of peace, not a battleground. We made sure to address it all, delicately yet firmly, leaving absolutely no room for misunderstanding. The confrontation was difficult, raw, but utterly necessary. The silence that followed was heavy, pregnant with unspoken consequences. I had taken a stand. Now we waited for his response, for the path forward to reveal itself. My resolve hardened, and I spoke to him directly, yet with unwavering firmness. I probed, asking if he truly felt respected within our shared home, and if perhaps something much deeper, a significant mental struggle, was lurking beneath the surface. He finally confided in me, revealing the personal demons he had been battling. Together, we meticulously crafted a strategic game plan for the arduous path ahead. I couldn't help but silently acknowledge those who, from afar, had wisely suggested that his struggles truly stemmed from too much change at once, a profound mental health issue manifesting. Their insights had been invaluable. A crucial moment arrived when he genuinely recognized, and then openly acknowledged, that his past reactions were not only deeply inappropriate, but utterly unwarranted. The sincere apology he offered for his previous responses and outright disrespect felt like a turning point. He expressed profound gratitude for my relentless effort in making him truly understand the detrimental effects his actions had inflicted upon us. He even admitted that my mindfulness regarding playing, her music, had, objectively, bordered on excessive overconsciousness. Finally, he conceded that the modest frequency I requested was entirely reasonable. Merely 45 minutes a week after a challenging day, during dinner without him, in private conversations that excluded him, or during simple activities like watching TikToks on the couch. This was a critical, healing step forward. The subtle sneer on his face whenever a song, just a quick melody while I ran errands for hours, was enough. I felt the unspoken accusation. The air crackled with hostility. So I confronted him, my voice resolute, seeking an end to this icy judgment. He finally conceded, though his admission was grudging, that our music wasn't too loud. He couldn't hear it in his room, not even upstairs. He agreed we could sparingly enjoy her music in common spaces, just as we allowed him. We then sat, an uncomfortable truce hanging between us. A chilling, undeniable truth began to surface. His simmering frustration stemmed entirely from his social media. His feeds, lately, were saturated with content about her recent album. It became terrifyingly clear. His digital world, poisoned by a torrent of hateful videos concerning her, a painful topic we only grazed, had distorted his perception, causing him to lash out unfairly at us. We collectively determined, for the sake of strained peace, that he simply needed to keep his mouth shut going forward. This was the solitary path, we painfully agreed. I understood then, with stark clarity, that no words could ever change his ingrained dislike for her. And conversely, nothing he said would ever diminish our profound affection. We know his feelings, he knows ours. There was no reason to continue beating this dead horse. The exhausting war of words was finally over. A bitter, fragile peace was forged. The tension had been thick, almost suffocating. He'd been overexposing himself, a constant, irritating cacophony throughout our home. I was braced for more conflict. Instead, he reached a stunning, unexpected conclusion. This whole frustrating situation was 99% his own fault. He even vehemently affirmed we did nothing wrong. Honestly, neither of us truly expected such profound accountability from him. It disarmed me entirely. A powerful wave of relief washed over us. A practical solution emerged. All three of us now have headphones. We gave him a pair of earbuds just last week. These will stay in heavy rotation for longer listening sessions of music or podcasts others might intensely dislike, a habit we've always diligently kept. This is absolutely key for common spaces, ensuring harmony during chores or relaxation. Peace, finally, seems within reach. Our garage transformation continues steadily, soon to become a true hangout space for the boys. Financially, he'll pay an agreed amount thoughtfully set under market value for rent, utilities, and groceries from his very first paycheck. He'll also fully cover all his personal, often indulgent, expenses. Weed, vapes, gas, and all other incidentals. I've committed to teaching him crucial budgeting and basic finance management techniques. This will help launch him towards independence, accelerating his journey. I'm meticulously planning to empower him fully, guiding his every step towards a truly self-sufficient life. I am preparing a heartfelt surprise. A few vinyl records by his favorite artists. My partner and I intend this to foster a more equal ground in our home. This idea stemmed from our mutual agreement, not a direct complaint. The gifts are for Christmas, yet I may give them early. We already share several vinyls that all of us enjoy, enriching our collective space. Our lease renews in April, a pivotal date. Until then, bi-weekly sit-downs will address concerns. We'll rigorously reevaluate our living situation at renewal if he remains. If things improve, our future may solidify sooner. If not, decisive action will follow swiftly. The mood in our house is now truly great. I anticipated tension after our discussion, but it proceeded exceptionally well, a true relief. We concluded by affirming our mutual love, desiring the household's absolute best, and believing everyone deserved profound happiness and unwavering safety in our home. We are now comfortably gathered, poised for dinner and a movie. I wanted to update you as my pot roast finishes, its comforting aroma filling the kitchen. My sincere thanks for your continued support and understanding. I kept quiet for a long time, but this story still makes me shiver. My mind was a turbulent storm, constantly questioning if I was truly entitled or inappropriate. Others called me a bitch, their cruel words stinging, making me doubt my every move. Then, a beacon of light pierced the darkness. A kind internet stranger, whose words still echo, wrote something truly beautiful. They said, "There are so few happy conclusions on Reddit," expressing thrill at how well everything unfolded. They believed I sounded like a very kind person, an amazing individual deserving only the best. This validation was a soothing balm, truly guiding me from despair, pushing away lingering shadows of self-recrimination. Despite widespread support, the sheer extremity of his responses forced me into painful introspection. Had I truly been entitled, inappropriate, or rude. The cruel epithets echoed, making me second-guess every instinct. But that single, powerful comment became my anchor in a stormy sea. I reread it, letting each word sink in, a reaffirmation of my worth. My partner read it, seeing the truth reflected. I even captured a screenshot, a digital talisman against future shadows, a silent weapon for my brother-in-law should things not improve, should I ever recount the original agony of that post. To that generous, unseen soul, my deepest gratitude flows. Your words were a sanctuary. May your pillow always offer cool comfort, and as Taylor Swift wisely noted, you should have what you want, you deserve what you want, I hope you get what you want. The wave of positive feedback after sharing my difficult experience brought an unexpected solace. My heart swelled, realizing others saw the integrity and maturity with which we navigated a challenging situation. Many pointed out that such a respectful resolution is rarely seen online, a sentiment that filled me with quiet pride. I knew then that we had truly achieved something remarkable, a testament to our enduring relationship. My unwavering commitment to avoiding drastic measures was born of deep personal conviction. Eviction, for me, was always the absolute last resort, a desperate flicker in the darkest moments. How could it be otherwise? This man, my brother-in-law, is also my dearest friend, a bond I cherish, one that transcends any temporary discord. The sheer weight of knowing I had made someone homeless, without exhausting every single possible avenue for reconciliation, would honestly have shattered my spirit, leaving an indelible mark. That burden, I truly believe, would be too much to bear, a constant shadow over my conscience. The praise for how we adulted beautifully resonated profoundly. Comments consistently highlighted our compassion, our thoughtful consideration, and our mutual willingness to compromise. It was a powerful affirmation that even the most complex problems can be resolved with grace and mutual respect. Many admitted they might have struggled to maintain such composure if their own passions or art were attacked, making our success feel even more significant. This wholesome outcome, diverging so sharply from the typical bitter narratives of conflict, leading to someone being kicked out, or worse, felt like a true triumph. We chose dialogue over discord, ensuring our bond remained unbroken, stronger than ever. I genuinely appreciate how everyone recognized and celebrated our collective effort to find peace. The tension had been thick, but everyone finally showed their best selves. I had worked hard, opening crucial communication, establishing a solid path forward. I often thought of my partners and my brother-in-law's mother. This situation truly offered a chance to create the family we all yearned for. Our movie and pot roast family time became cherished moments, a testament to our efforts. Kicking my brother-in-law out was always a painful, absolute last resort for me. I strive to be an empathetic person, understanding that the world truly needs more of that spirit. This difficult journey, though challenging, ultimately led us to a place of hard-won peace.